Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. We also examine the worlds of education and workplace ethics. My name is Breakaway Ray. I like talking about the breakaway civilizations because we're breaking away from the one we're in now. You've tuned into a live tarot throw. Today is December 2nd, 2025. I've got your December's divination ahead. We're going to throw some tarot cards so that you can see what's coming at you in December. Also, we're going to pay tribute to a great original podcaster named James Rink. He told us all about the secret space program. And then in the second part of the show, in about 25 or 30 minutes, we'll be throwing tarot cards for people in the audience. If you're interested in having a reading in the second part of the show, please type in the chat in all capital letters, tarot, please. And then while I'm at it, why don't I show you some of the decks that are available? I do believe I made a list of them in the chat, but in case you're new here. So I'm going to stop myself right now because there's probably some people who notice there's a different camera angle. Yeah, the regular tarot cam, which is up there, I couldn't get it to connect with the YouTube live stream. So I'm working off the MacBook Air. I'm going to make do. It's going to be a good show. But if anyone has some tips for me, I spent an hour trying to figure it out. I couldn't do it. I don't know why my secondary external cam is not working. Anyway, back to the tarot decks, everybody. Here is the classic tarot deck. This is the deck that has the words on it. I've only been throwing tarot cards since March. And this deck helped me learn in a hurry. Because again, the words are right on the card. We have the Robin Wood Tarot. There's one called the Old Style Tarot by Alexander Ray. Sounds like a cool guy. The Old Style Tarot is basically embellished images based on the first two decks I just showed you. It's a lovely deck. Speaking of lovely decks, I think they're all lovely as a matter of fact. Here's the Mermaid Tarot. I know I got some audience members who really like that one. I bet you can't wait to see how I'm going to do it with the tarot cam, right? Hang on. Okay, so I'm really into the Ethereal Bloom Tarot. These are, again, very lovely images. Having fun throwing these. I've got the Gold Foil Tarot. And I have the Lost Soul Tarot. I also have the Neon deck and the Stained Glass deck, if you are interested. So I'm now going to reorient all these boxes of cards and get ready to throw some cards. Hey, everybody. Let's go to the tarot cam. I think there we go. Oh, no. Oh, I just unplugged the monitor. Okay, we're back. Stand by, please. Sorry about my technical difficulties. Does that work? There we go. We got a bocce alley for our tarot cards. Go like this. You can check out the chat as well as I can. And you're looking at an image, a reflection in the window to the little patio out there. All right, cool. Well, let's all have fun. So first up, it's December's divination. What we're going to do is we're going to throw 12 cards because it's the 12th month. And now that I put my, now that I said it, I have to do it, right? Because I was thinking December used to be the 10th month. Anyway, let's throw 12 cards and let's go with the Robin Wood deck. I also have some Organite so we can like hold the cards up in place. Let's see what happens. So it's quite early here on the West Coast. Yeah, for anyone who's having sleepless nights on the West Coast with me, happy to throw some cards, keep you company. And now the Tarot World is going to share with us, if the Tarot World pleases, what can we all look forward to in December, please? Give us some clues, give us some hints. Divine for us some prophetic visions, if you please. Show us how wonderful the rest of December is going to be. these cards are about December, but these are still fun cards. If you've tuned into this podcast in the future and you're catching the recording even months or years from now, I promise you these cards have a message for you. I also want to say on a personal note, I was thrown before the show and I feel like the tarot world is all ready to go. So let's get 12 cards. Okay, it looks like they're going to come out in thirds. Okay, those were all in order. Let's do some random ones now. I don't want to forget about that last card on the bottom of the deck. Here we go. One more. And another. I think this is the one that wants to come out. That was like a lot right off the top. Okay, let's check out what happens with December's divination. Here we go. Starting off with the Emperor. That's right. We're in control in December. Well, we're in control every month. So I think the tarot world is trying to say, hey, everybody, you are in control. Stop looking around for outside things and outside influences. You're the one with all the power. You determine how you enjoy December. Next up, the Two of Wands. Seems to me that the tarot world is telling us that, the tarot world is aware you've made plans for the month and the tarot world is already impressed and they're giving you the green light go on your plans. See if I can do a little bit better with the light here. Oh, there we go. Okay, hang on. All right, I think that works. No, I want more. There we go. All right, thanks for being patient with me, everybody. We're off to a good start. Next, the Empress. So check that out. I noticed this also before the show. We have the Emperor and the Empress. And before the show, I was throwing a couple of pairs of couples. Let's just put it that way. Speaking of couples, again, we have the Two of Wands in the middle. The Empress, we're going to go to the book on the Empress here. Because we know the Emperor is in control and he has authority. And the Empress has her own particular qualities that balance things out on the other side of that plan of yours. Connect with your nurturing femininity and enjoy the beauty of life. You may also be experiencing a burst of creativity. And in regards to relationships, it says open yourself up to love. This can also mean loving yourself. A child or pregnancy may be on the way. Well, if you celebrate Christmas, there's a child on the way, right? Baby Jesus. Anyway, I think we're acknowledging the holidays and the plans that are already underway, right? Everyone's already planning and budgeting for their holidays. And then, the Ace of Wands talks about magic in the air, making magic happen. All right, cool. Let's go to round 2 for December. Oh, I was laughing. And then the Ten of Swords showed up, the gruesome scene. Well, but the scene is over, everybody. Most of the year is almost done. There's only some 28, 29 days left of the year. So the Ten of Swords talks about moving past a painful episode. That's good news, isn't it? Get ready to be positive for a new year. Next up, again, we're going to have to get the cards up here. All right. Next up, check it out. It's the High Priestess. So we're following, the bad news is it was a rough year, but we sure learned a lot. And now we're like the High Priestess. We're in touch with our higher self, our subconscious, and we're better acquainted with our soul's path. After all that, I mean, that was a lot to go through. Okay. Sweet. Let's keep going here. It's the Eight of Pentacles, talks about plugging away and working hard and being determined. Sorry, everybody. Still trying to figure out the light situation here. Ooh, I like that light. That's better. Okay. And then yay, the Fool card shows up. So it's the end of a painful episode. And now we've ascended to a new plane, a new way of looking at things, a new perspective. We're even better manifestors because we can channel right directly from our subconscious and from source. We have worked hard at it. It's all been a lot of extra hard work, but we're going to be like the kids on Christmas morning unwrapping gifts. We're going to be like the Fool. We got a new beginning. We got a new toy to play with. We have new magical powers to work on. We have a new hobby to explore. We shed our old hobby, whatever that was, whatever was taking up that time before. What were we following, sports or something? We let it go because you know what? Our subconscious has so much more to explore. Anyway, way to go, December. Let's all elevate our consciousness this month. Sounds like a good idea to me. The Death card shows up. The Death card talks about beginnings and endings and changes and transformations. Sounds a little bit like what we were just talking about. Taking that pain and making magic out of it. Make a new life out of it. All right, let's go back upstairs. There we go. Then, oh, how wonderful. We're going to change the world, everybody. It's the World card. The World card does talk about completion. And we are completing the year. We're just about done. You know, we're about to complete the reading for our year, our month and December year. And then, oh, yeah. See, I told you the tarot world was fired up. Here's the Magician. Okay. It's been a long year, but the whole world has changed for us. And now we're entering into a new magical phase. Well, this is going to be interesting. What could the last card be? I want to get that light right. All right, what will the last card be? We have the Magician right here. There we go. We can see him better now. And yay, look at that. It's the Three of Wands. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. We worked really hard in 2025, and this is our month to, get everything together, pool our resources, and get ready for January in 2026. So happy December to everybody and happy New Year to everybody. I'll say it again later on. All right. Thank you very much to the tarot world for those very interesting cards. Let me give these a shuffle. And then we're going to talk about the passing. Oh, check that out. There's your lover's card for you. How about that? I want to thank all the viewers and subscribers. I love you guys too. But this card also means that the spirit world's with us. Look at how casual it is. Anyway, let's give these a toss and talk about the passing of James Rink. Well, not his passing, but his accomplishments, his legacy, as far as I'm concerned. Thank you very much. Here we go. All right. How's it going, everybody? All right. I am gonna have to turn on the lights so I can see my notes here. All right, that's not terrible. Okay, so I was very surprised. I'm sure many people were to hear that James Rink passed away. James Rink was the host of Supersoldiertalk. It's a YouTube channel. It's been taken down a bunch of times. I know he's got a Rumble channel. And from some of the things I learned from James Rink, one thing I learned, I'm listening to his podcast. I'm paying attention. I'm trying the best I can to pay attention and do a good job. I do believe that he said that this is not the first time he's been down here to planet Earth to tell people about the secret space program. And it does not surprise me when you consider how determined he was. He'd been doing this at least since 2010, maybe sooner. He overcame a speech impediment to become one of the greatest podcasters in history. So, congratulations, James Rink. You really worked hard. You really contributed. You really have a great legacy. And, when I was watching Supersoldiertalk, James Rink would introduce guests that I would never even know about. And these guests obviously changed the way I view everything. And here I am, I think I'm like trying to be like a James Rink Jr. here. I would just be fake my way Ray. I wouldn't be breakaway Ray. I'd be fake my way Ray if there weren't people like James Rink and John Whitberg and others who were, blazing a trail for people like me. I'm just hearing what they're saying, and I'm trying to amplify what they're saying. I'm trying to amplify their voice. So some of the guests that I've seen, as I mentioned, I saw John Whitberg over there. Penny Bradley was over there. I just scrolled through his podcast. I saw many, many guests. I can't name them all. Christy Campbell was over there. I enjoyed listening to Christy Campbell and James Rink talk about President George H.W. Bush. That was some really fascinating material. And congratulations to Christy Campbell. This show is not about her, but I just want to say, she's a lady of integrity, and you can see that she's really doing things with her experience to share with other people, so we all learn about the secret space programs. And when you work with James Rink, it looks like you're in a community and you're recognized and people know who you are, and then all the puzzle pieces start fitting together and people start saying the same things and presenting overlapping information. I saw Tony Rodriguez on his show, but by far one of my favorites was Jimmy Paine. You don't actually see Jimmy Paine. He uses the avatar. Jimmy Paine is one of the original Men in Black, from what I understand, from what I remember. I hope I'm getting this right. He did transportation for tall whites at Area 51. Again, if I'm remembering this correctly, Jimmy Paine says he's a hybrid, but that shouldn't shock anybody anymore at this point. If you're watching STARCARD podcast or you watch Typical Skeptic podcast, certainly if you watch the St. Olga channel with Daniel, you know that that's not like a big deal. There's all kinds of hybrids, people who've been genetically modified in utero, in the womb, and they're alive today. I'm not going to mention any names, but anyway, Jimmy Paine, I do believe, said that he's got some kind of starseed hybrid thing going on there. And for sure, he's so fascinating. And when he tells his stories, he tells stories that are related to movies that you see come out in Hollywood. And then when you think about it, when I think about it, I think, do I believe like the Hollywood version of the story? Some guy sat down at his typewriter and wrote this out, and that's how they came up with the script for E.T., or do I listen to Jimmy Paine? Because in lots of ways, his story seems to make so much more sense. So I have quite a lot of subscribers now. In my estimation, I'm in triple digits. And I just think that there's some people out there who may know how to get a hold of Jimmy Paine. And if I just want to say, Jimmy Paine is invited to get in touch with me. I would love to have him on StarCard podcast. I would love to listen to any of his stories. I did put a link to one of his shows with James Rink in the description, in case you're not familiar with Jimmy Paine. He talks about the Philadelphia experiment and time travel. That was a really fascinating one. And then I've just put the Star Trek one in there. Anyway, I don't want to give it away. Enjoy learning about Jimmy Paine, but more importantly, go explore James Rink's site and contribute to his Veterans Support Organization. I forget the name of it, but it's a certified public, I forget what you call it, but anyway, you could donate, make it an honest donation to help, veterans of all wars, on planet and off planet. Let's face it, in the United States, we need to support our veterans more than we do. Come on, Congress, get to it. So anyway, what have I got? So, how am I doing on time? Good. Here's what I want to do, everybody. So in the Secret Space Program lore, there's a story about someone in the Kruger family. I'm not going to get into who the Kruger family is right now, but someone in the Kruger family is running the Kruger Mercenary Corps, where they build augmented soldiers or super soldiers. And from how I've stitched the pieces of the information together, it's my perception that this takes place in a time bubble, like a little pocket reality on the backside of our moon, which is called Luna. And what I have, I have my book, The Convoluted Autobiography. As I said, James Rink was like a big deal to me. He influenced me. And a lot of the information I have in this book is based on things I've learned in part from him and his programs. So what I've got, I know I got a lot of bookmarks here. I've clipped a page where, let's see if I could tell you the characters, because some of them will be very recognizable. There's a story out there that the comedian and actress Amy Poehler is also living a life as a clone or vice versa on the moon as this Lady Kruger person running the mercenary division. And so my spirit guides, because this is my convoluted autobiography, my spirit guides take the forms of Pierce Brosnan. That's right, the actor from the James Bond movies. In fact, in this book, he's actually called Pierce. And then there's another one. Her character is named Lily, but she's probably, you can imagine her as the actress Jessica Alba. So anyway, the actress Jessica Alba and Pierce Brosnan, they go visit this character that's supposed to be based on Amy Poehler. And the reason why I mention this is because in James Rink's program, he was interviewing 2 super soldiers, and one guy was telling a story about he was up on the moon with this character that I mentioned, who resembles this actress down here on Earth. And she realized that his altar was breaking and that he wasn't the same personality and that he was trying to fake his way. So she kept on trying to get him to drink the tea so that it would knock him out and then go reprogram his brain. But he was onto it and he wouldn't drink the tea. I just thought that was like such a funny episode. I'm sure it wasn't funny to the guy, but she kept on saying, "Hey, don't you want to try the tea? How was the tea?" I mean, if you can imagine that character from Saturday Night Live, inviting you to drink the tea because she wants to knock you out. So anyway, here's a part of my story where my spirit guides are looking for me, a shard of my soul, and it turns out they used it to make copies of me so that they could put teachers on their space station called Valhalla. But someone else also has a shard of my soul, and they're trying to track it down. And that's why they go to the moon, this Pierce and this Lily, they go to the moon to ask for her help. And anyway, the character that's supposed to be like the actress from Saturday Night Live, she goes into a rant about teachers. Now, the funny thing is, in real life, Amy Poehler's parents were teachers, from what I understand. And she would understand this as humor. And with your permission, since you're tuning in, everybody, I'm going to read about one page from the convoluted autobiography, which, like this one time, is not listed in the description. Check out any of my other videos. You can find the description. I think it's even in the channel description. That and my other book, Let's Go Out Planet with Breakaway Ray. All right. So I'm going to turn on the light. Yeah, I'm going to give you this because it's going to look like Grandpa Breakaway Ray reading a story during the holidays. How's that sound? All right, let's get some more light here. Again, this is based on something I've seen on a James Rink podcast, and I put it in my own life. Here we go. When I say the director, that's that lady, okay? All right, here we go. The director looked sincere and concerned when she asked, "Okay, tell me, what more could there be?" Before Pierce could reply, the director continued, "There's a teacher who is presumably excellent. Whatever the cost was, now there's more than one serving more students. People make copies all the time, Uncle Pierce. Ask Donald Marshall. Ask Dave Mustaine. Ask Charles O'Bannon. You can make more than 2,000, can't you?" she asked, as if she didn't know. "There's a problem with the clones," Pierce replied softly. Hoping this would not turn out to be another conversation with Pierce about free will, the director launched a tirade. "Really? There's a problem with the clones?" asked the director. She looked at the augment standing nearby. It had some kind of ocular leak going because there was a liquid droplet of something rolling down the left side of his face. "Did you hear that, Sems? They had a problem with clones." "Really?" said the augment, called Zems. It cocked its head, moving like a bad breakdancer. "Yes, really," repeated the director. She seemed to be exaggerating how astounded she was. "Really?" inquired the augment Zems. "A mangled piece of someone's soul in another body is causing a problem?" Said the director. Sems continued. "Duplicate clones with diminished consciousnesses and existences who are stuck in a perpetual life of labor are causing a problem? Really?" "Really," mimicked the director. Pierce said affably, "You could not be more correct, Sems. The copies are the problem." The director scoffed and said, "And teachers are the worst. I don't mean they're the worst copies. I mean, they're the worst at copying, with all their copy machines and mimeographs and dittos, all of them repurposing the labor of others, using the same copies every year. Really. And what did they tell students, these hypocrites? She shook her finger and nagged in a screechy voice, "Don't copy, do your own work." If this was a TV show, this would be a good place to edit in some canned laughter. The director continued in her normal voice. "Seems to me that if you want to stop people from making copies, you start by stopping teachers." She tossed her hands up in the air, exasperated. "Really?" punctuated Zems in a monotone, and a couple of lights flashed on his torso and neck. "Really? Wow," nodded the director. Then she yelled, "Bring out the tea!" All right, everybody. I hope that was entertaining. I enjoyed reading it. I enjoyed sharing it with you. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite the Tarot World to pass on a message, or maybe it would like to cast a biography for us for James Rink. So with James Rink in mind, let's throw some tarot cards and see what the Tarot World has to say. Here we go. All right. See, I got to get the tarot cam working again because you guys can plainly see my pajama bottoms. Ugh. All right. These cards are for James Rink. Hey, James Rink, thank you very much for putting together that podcast. That was quite a sacrifice. You educated a lot of people, even a normie like me. I wouldn't even know or care about the Secret Space program if James Rink didn't tell me about it first. All right, Tarot World, let's say thanks to James Rink, please. I hope he's doing well. I'm still upset. I heard, like, what was it, a couple of years ago, year and a half ago, a tree happened to fall and hit his car. Dude, he was undergoing so much, and it was such a sacrifice. So again, I hope he's blessed now, and I want to thank him very much. Thank you, James Rink. Let's throw some cards for James Rink. These cards are for James. I bet we see something like the Page of Swords because, he was a gifted communicator. There's going to be some kind of card about bravery. We'll see. Alternate worlds, the subconscious. Maybe we'll see the moon. Let's see. Well, we'll throw one more for you, James. Here you go. Thank you, Mr. Rink. First up, well, it's the Judgment card. It's Judgment Day for James, isn't it? And here's something, it has a little theme to it. We were mentioning cloning while I was reading from the book. And, in the judgment scene there, you see all the bodies coming out of the ground, kind of like clones coming out of the cloning tank. But this is when you're swapping out something old for something new. And that's what James Rink was all about. He's all, you can't be thinking like Ptolemy and that the earth is the center of the universe. There's a lot more going on outside our atmosphere and even under the earth and within our consciousness. And there was James Rink blowing his horn and telling us all about it. Thank you, James. Wow, we should stop right there, huh? Let's get the light going better. Wow, the 9 of Swords. So he probably stayed up all night thinking about this stuff. And he gave us lots of ideas that would keep us up all at night because none of the things he talked about on Supersoldiertalk really matched up with what our reality is all about. We don't hear about this stuff in school or in television. And frankly, we never will. That's why, while we have the First Amendment here in the United States, we got to keep talking about it and get all these ideas on the table. We need to make James Rink's name a household name. Same with Raynetta Jones. These people have proved that there's stuff going on. And anyway, let's move on. You're watching STARCARD Podcast. Thanks to James Rink, we can all have hope and we can all have faith and we have a purpose. We can feel renewal and rejuvenation because we're breaking out of this civilization, okay? And we're entering into the new age of Aquarius, and that does mean technology is more integrated into our lives, including advanced technology that's around us and off planet. So, wow, I told you the tarot world was on fire today. My head's been ringing for the last 3 hours. Couldn't fix my tarot cam, though. Okay, so now James has left us basically in the situation of the 9 of Pentacles lady. It's the fruits of our labor. Now that he's left us his legacy and all the learning, now's our chance to capitalize on it. All right. Now, James was certainly, oh man, someday I'm going to show you that card from the Robin Waite deck. So James is certainly the person guiding our boat from rougher waters to calmer waters. What we don't see in this version of the card, but we do see it in the Robin Waite deck, of the Robin Wood deck, is that there's a ghost in the boat that's, divinely guiding us all. James, the one who's driving the boat, and the rest of us are watching the show. Okay, we are being divinely guided to calmer waters. Again, going back to the age of Aquarius here, we all need to be prepared. We need to be oriented as we move on into this rapidly changing future. I want to get this light right. Gonna do this. All right, let's try that. Okay, one more card over here, the Three of Pentacles. Not only are we all in this together and shouldn't, we're collaborating. Let's try it again, Breakaway Ray. Not only are we all in this together and we should all be collaborating, but this card talks about implementing something new, building something new together. Okay, we're building a new world, a new civilization. And then finally, well, when you talk about legacy and contribution, this is, high praise for James Rink, the King of Pentacles here. Why don't we read what it says here? Because this is a kind of wealth that we see when we think of James now, but it's also something he shared with us. So I have here on the King of Pentacles: wealth, business, leadership, security, discipline, abundance, prosperity, and generosity. He sure was generous with his energy. Thanks again, James. Thank you, Tarot World. That was a fun reading. All right. And so I'm going to give these a toss. And then I'm so glad to see that there are people in our chat ready to participate, ready to get a reading. I'm all excited because I'm going to show you. Yeah, that's right. I got trees for everybody. Cool. The only way it could be better is if I had a candy cane to hand to everybody, right? All right, so let's see who wants a reading. I'm going to move my light here. And it's time for me to start checking out the chat, see who wants a reading. Okay, I'm going up to the top here, and I need a new piece of paper. Thanks for being patient with me, everybody. Oh, Charisse, hello. And then let's get your request there, old style. I'm going to make 2 lists. That sounds just like something I would do, like making 2 lists, a redundant list. I would have redundant grade books in the olden days. Anyway, am I spelling your name right? Yes. Yeah, everybody wants a reading now, right? Because you want a tree, right? Okay, bring it. I'm ready. I got nothing to do today. All right, let's see what else we got here. Hello, Mr. A. Welcome back to the show. Cool deal. Hi, Flix Love. All right, I know I'm not making eye contact. So anyway, Tarot Cam. I need Tarot Cam help. Flix Love. Tarot, please. Robin Wood. Okay. All right. I'm still going through my list. Hi, Arizona Raven. Thanks for joining me. I know you're up early. Yeah, thank you, Mr. A. I appreciate that encouragement. Hello, Puck Elf. All right. Yeah. Oh, I can do this. So I happen to spot Sharice's message in the chat. Congratulations on 200 subscribers, Breakaway Ray. Thank you very much. It's a team effort. I appreciate when people subscribe and share and comment and like and do all those things. We got a long way to go. How great, you have me all to yourselves right now. Let's finish off the list here. Whoa, Christy Campbell's in the chat. Hi, Christy Campbell. Thanks for joining us. Did you hear me talking about you? Cool. Hi, Julia. Good to see you too. Yeah, thank you, Julia. Thank you, Julia. You helped me get there. All right. Julia, mermaids. All right. I'm going to get you a tree. Hey, Christy Campbell. All right. I saw your message in the chat. All right. Thanks for showing up. Okay. So I think Puck Elf wants a reading. So I'm going to write you down, Puck Elf. I'm going to make you a tree. And then you can tell me what else you want me to do, Puck Elf. You know, if you got a deck or if you just want one card or a regular show, you know, let's make a tree for Puck Elf. Okay, so I have 4 people so far. I have Charisse, who wants the old style, Flix Love, who wants the Robin Hood, Julia, who wants the mermaid deck. I got Puck Elf, and I'm going with the flow. And if there's anyone else who would like a reading, I'm so happy. You know, just drop your request in the chat. I know I have friends in the chat who will help me keep up, but I'll check back again. Am I missing one? Adria 2. Okay. Is there someone named Adria out there, Flix Love? I'll write it down. I'll check back. Oh, Mr. A. Oh, sorry, Mr. A. Here we go. Thank you, Mr. A. Thanks, everybody. And then the neon deck. Got it. No problem. Neon deck coming up. Mr. A. All right, cool. Let's get a tree for Mr. A. Yeah, cool. All right, Christy Campbell. I was hoping you'd ask. I'm going to make you a tree. Thank you. No, I didn't. Thank you, Julia. I didn't see Spiderbite. Hi, Spiderbite. I know I saw your name. I didn't say hello yet, I don't think. Hi, Spiderbite. Do you want a reading? I'll make you a tree. Okay. So I think I got them. I got listed 2 places here. Charisse, Flix Love, Julia, Puck Elf, Mr. A, Christy Campbell, and Spiderbite. Thanks for all the help, everybody. Let's get started with Charisse. Does Arizona Raven want one too? Is that what's going on? All right, I'll check back for Arizona Raven. Plenty of trees, everybody. Yes, Arizona Raven. Let's take care of it right now. Thank you, Arizona Raven. Got it. Hey, I see Danny Hawk is in the audience. Hi, Danny. Thanks for joining us. All right. Let's throw some cards. Old style for Charisse. Here we go. Here's your old style. Whoa, remember the old style is the one that has the blank card, and I leave the blank card in there. There you go. That was fun last time. All right, Charisse. let's have some more fun. Thanks for inviting me to read. These cards are for Cherise. Thanks, Cherise, for subscribing. Thanks for being a supportive viewer. I appreciate your friendship way out there on some other continent. How about that? Some of my closest friends right now are all on other continents. Thanks a lot, everybody. Hey, I spruced up the playlist page at StarCard Podcast. Go check it out. Right, these cards are for Cherise. A fun, inspirational message for Cherise. Merry breakaways, everybody. Merry breakaways. Merry breakaways. And right here and right there. All right, Cherise. You've had some pretty fascinating cards lately. Let's keep the magic going. First up, you have the Knight of Swords charging forward energetically. I think I should read from the book. Wow, what a great picture. There's even a bird in that picture. Cool. Wow. So exciting. Knight of Swords. Sometimes we are so driven that we don't always consider the consequences. Don't give in to hasty, blind ambition. And in regards to relationships, it says, be careful about jumping into a relationship too soon. Revisit your values and your needs and wants before committing. Next up. Cool. The King of Pentacles, he's one of our stars today. He talks about wealth and discipline and contribution. And then next, we saw this guy earlier, the Eight of Pentacles. I think this guy's been at the gym. That's why I'm trying to get the light so you can check it out there. Yeah. Anyway, Eight of Pentacles, that guy works really hard. He doesn't stop working, repeating the muscle memory. Okay. I mean, we all want to charge forward emotionally and enthusiastically, but we need to maintain some kind of control. And apparently, we're quite good at it. You've got this guy's pulling that way, this guy's pulling that way, and this guy's in the middle, keeping everything balanced. Okay. Oh, you got the blank card. So let's see how that matches up over here. It matches up with the Five of Wands. Now, the Five of Wands talks about conflict, but really, oh, wow, this is a pretty dramatic card. This is not like the ballet scene in the other cards. Someone's really fallen down here. So Five of Wands, you have a conflict going on, but if you turn it upside down, it talks about respecting boundaries. Whatever this conflict is, you'll have to use your imaginations and reference your own life experiences, because I guess what they're saying is, when you're set up like this, you're ready to be emotionally free and also to be industrious and committed and work hard at something. There's going to be some kind of a conflict, and here's the outcome. Sweet. It's the Three of Wands and the Six of Wands. The Three of Wands is the card that says luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Remember, this guy is like thinking long-term contribution. And the Six of Wands is everybody recognizes it. I guess this is a story about boundaries. You got to have boundaries within yourself, boundaries among other people. And then when you do that, everybody respects your boundaries and you can move forward and have a clear vision of where you want to go. Hey, I hope that was cool for you, Cherise. Thanks for inviting me to read. I'm going to hold on to your tree. All right. Let's give these a toss and go to our next reading. Yeah, cool, Christy. You're welcome. All right, thank you, Danny. I'm glad you're supporting. I really do feel your support. I feel appreciated. All right, where's all my trees at? There they are. Flicks Love, the Robin Hood deck. I saw, I don't know if Christy Campbell's still watching the show. I saw Christy Campbell once on a show with Julia, I think, hanging out with Jane Celia Hatch. I thought that was very fascinating too. Just want to say, I wouldn't even know about you if it wasn't for James Rink. And now, here I am working with Julia and talking to you on my chat. All right. Thanks again, Christy. Let's get back to the other readings. So we're on Flicks Love. But yeah, I feel like, there you go, Flicks Love. How about the Three of Cups? We're celebrating. Cool. Oh, is that what I remembered from Julia? Yeah, thank you. That's right. Well, anyway, let's give Flicks Love another chapter in her interesting tarot story. It's been going on for like a couple of weeks. I feel like each reading like builds on the one before that. It's been like one of those serials that you read in the newspaper in the olden days. Anyone remember newspapers? All right, these cards are for Flicks Love. Thank you for the fun, inspirational messages for Flicks Love. I appreciate it. Ooh, that one wanted to come out. Here we go. One more for Flicks Love. Here we go, Flicks Love. Flicks Love. Very clever. All right, 7 of Wands. Are there a bunch of challenges? That ain't no big deal because you could take on all those challenges. You have the higher ground, and apparently you have the prettier gown. All right, the 2 of Pentacles says that you have a lot of poise while you balance things on a tight wire high up in the sky. You got lots of things, ideas and, pie in the sky, high hopes, and you could balance it all. You're doing it. Again, 2 examples here of facing challenges and conquering them and handling them and having fun with them. And that's your tree back there. Wow. And the Ace of Swords is talking about truth. I'm going to go right to the book for that. I'm laughing because I almost didn't come out today. I know. You guys hear that all the time. Well, what a great show already. All right. Ace of Swords. This card signifies a breakthrough of ideas and having the mental clarity to carry them out. Yeah, cool. Here we go, Flicks Love. Next up, once you have all those ideas, now you have the Ace of Pentacles. It's a project, a gift from God, something to work on, a mission. Let's find Ace of Pentacles for you. Ace of Pentacles, an opportunity will soon arrive for you to increase your material wealth or health. That sounds like good news. Through driven actions, you can use it to manifest your goals. And then where it says career, it reads, the prospect of a new job, promotion, or project may soon arrive. Take advantage to push your career further. Cool, yeah. When you get that Ace of Pentacles, you're going to be at the beginning of a new adventure, says the Fool card. Cool. It looks like you're going to have a companion there with that little dog. How fun's that going to be? I'm all excited for you. I like the dog. Okay. And then finally, it's the 2 of Wands who says, you have a great plan. The universe likes your plan. You have the green light. Go. Yay, Flicks Love. Go. All right. We'll check in next time for an adventure with Flicks Love's tarot cards. Thanks, Flicks Love. I'm holding on to your tree for next time. Next up, it's Julia. We'll get the mermaid deck out for you, Julia. I got to give these a toss first. All right. Yeah, very good, Flicks Love. Cool. Thank you for the feedback. All right, and these cards are for Julia. How about a fun, helpful message with these exciting and dramatic mermaid cards for Julia out in the UK? Thank you, Julia, for tuning in. These cards are for Julia. These cards are for Julia. Oh, it's going to be a great holiday season out there. Oh, I'm giving you one more. Here we go. All right, Julia, let's have some more fun. It's the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles usually talks about saving for a rainy day, holding on to what's valuable. In this case, what's really important and valuable and precious is washing your hair by the water fountain. I'm just trying to interpret that card. I didn't actually read the book about that. Okay, let's go to the next card. Oh, yeah, we saw this right when we busted out the deck. When we unboxed it, it's the Ace of Wands. There's magic in the air. You're saving up for something special. Cool. A special holiday gift for a special holiday somebody, perhaps. Well, good news. You have the Nine of Pentacles. It's the fruits of your labor. You've been saving up. You've been planning this for a long time. You're going to be, you're going to make someone feel very special, you know, that they have you for a secret Santa. Here we go. And these cards are for Julia. Great. Good news. That's like a good news card, even though it looks like it's like in the basement of the Addams family mansion. Okay. Then, the Page of Wands. Why don't we read about the Page of Wands? Well, this is the guy that talks about limitless potential. Let me get the book. Or, yeah, let's make sure I get it right. Page of Wands. The page signals a person who sees the potential in opportunities. Yeah, that sounds like Julia. In this case, the gender they use is he. They say, the page, he has the long-term vision, but may not have acted yet. Maybe all he needs is a plan. And regarding relationships, it says there is potential for adventures and excitement within the relationship. The grand plans may lack follow-through, but a push might be all it takes. There's good plans. You know, there's no limits to what you can imagine. You maybe just need a kickstart. All right. And then next, it's the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is the one that's all experienced. He's gearing up for a last stand. It's a lovely card. The merman there is like lighting torches. Why don't I read from the Nine of Wands for you? Oh, the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, you may be feeling exhausted from all the challenges you faced, but trust that you're almost there. Keep it as you push towards the finish line. Cool. And then the Ace of Cups. Well, what a beautiful cup overflowing with life. Who wouldn't want a cup overflowing with sea stars and squids and anemones and things like that? So there's your Ace of Cups. I think I can read to you about the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. The universe gives the gift of love. This can be through a relationship or self-love. The overflow of love can inspire creativity or new beginnings. You can say that again. Maybe it'll be a very fruitful, warm holiday season for you. And then you'll be filled and revved up and ready to go with love for whatever your next project is. And then, yeah, here you are. There's a picture of you as a mermaid, the high priestess. I know you know the high priestess is all about the subconscious and using magic. So it's definitely a portrait of you. Look at how pretty your hair is right from the outset. All right, way to go, Julia. Thanks for inviting me to read. Hope you had a good time. I'm going to hold on to your tree. And I'm guessing you're going to want another one this month. All right, let's see who else I got here. Puck Elf. All right, Puck Elf. I'm going to give you 3 cards, Puck Elf, and I'm going to go to my Ethereal Bloom deck because I haven't used that one yet. So here we go, Puck Elf. Hey, you're welcome, Julia. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I hope I'm right. I know it all sounded pretty good to me. All right. Hey, Tarot World. Thanks for sharing all these fireworks. You're making so many people happy this early in the morning here on the West Coast. And I would like to share some joy with my friend in Australia, Puck Elf. Can we please have 3 cards for Puck Elf? Puck Elf is keeping everybody happy and busy and entertained in the chat. Thank you, Puck Elf. These cards are for Puck Elf. 1, 3, 2. All right, Puck Elf. First up, yay, Puck Elf tunes into STARCARD podcast. We're feeling rejuvenated. We have hope. We feel inspired, and I feel like reading it in the book. Yay, STARCARD, for sure I'm going to read it. Under the glow of the stars, a woman kneels at the edge of a pond with 1 foot in the water. Her left hand pours water onto the land to feed the earth, while her right pours water into the pond. The upright meaning, you may have recently gone through a tough time, but the star is here to inspire hope. Renew your energy, heal, and have faith in the future. Cool, Puck Elf. Then the 3 of Pentacles talks about teamwork and collaboration and building something new. I wonder if you feel like me, Puck Elf. It feels like we're starting from scratch almost every day. But you're a team player, dude. And then the 9 of Cups talks about a wish come true. Now you know why I like this deck. Look at how pretty all these cards are. I like all the flowers. I got to get some fresh flowers behind me. Well, I got to fix that camera first. Anyway, there's your 3 cards. Feel rejuvenated. You're starting fresh with a new team, and it's a wish come true. Go for it, Puck Elf. Thank you very much, Puck Elf. I'm going to hold on to your tree for next time. Yeah, right on, Puck Elf. I agree. All right. Let's see who's next. Hey, I realize there's some other people checking in, and if you want a reading, I'm going to check the chat. Right now, I'm going to go to Mr. A. And I'm not sure Mr. A requested a deck, so I think I'm going to go right back to the Ethereal Bloom deck there. Here we go. Thanks, Mr. A, for joining us. Thanks for requesting a reading. You know I like to practice. Here we go. Whoa. Did you see the Fool card? Okay, we'll start there. These cards are for Mr. A. Wow. I'm just checking. Hang on a second. Okay. All right, Mr. A, I'm happy to say the beginning of your reading started with the Fool card. It's a new beginning. You have to have optimism. Yay, you might as well, because it's followed by the High Priestess. You got all kinds of magic going on because you know about the spirit world. You know how to manifest things. And then you have Père Noël showing up as the King of Pentacles. He's, I'm going to go back to the book on the King of Pentacles here. But what a lineup, Mr. A. You start off with the Fool, and then using the magic of the High Priestess, not just any magic, but, you know, righteous, ethical magic. You know, you get to the King of Pentacles, which does talk about, you know, currency, cash, material wealth. Let's read about the King of Pentacles for you. Sweet. The king's robe is embroidered with grapevines, symbolizing financial abundance. His left hand rests on a pentacle, while his right holds a scepter. His throne is decorated with bulls, you know, like the Chicago Bulls. Okay. The king is you or a person in your life who develops a plan and leads the charge in projects. Thoughtful and methodical, His success brings wealth to himself and those around him. In relationships, it says, the relationship brings with it financial prosperity and stability. You may push each other in your careers. Sounds positive to me. Wow. Okay, so you have a new beginning, and there's a magical woman involved with the King of Pentacles, and then the Tower comes. And I guess that changes the way we look at the world. Things come apart, but the path forward seems very clear back up to the top. The Five of Wands, such a pretty card for a card of conflict. But this is also about respecting boundaries. So, not everyone's going to get along as things fall apart, but respecting boundaries and other people's opinions is important. I mean, if you want to be, not you personally, but if somebody wants to be recognized and appreciated and listened to, the first step is, of course, doing the same for others. And then the Eight of Pentacles says it takes a lot of work, but it's going to be worth it. Look at all that coin. You had King of Pentacles back there, and you're going to have plenty of Pentacles left over when everything shakes out. And then the last, sweet. It's the Lover's card. That's the last card for you. I'm glad. And the Lover's card has a lot of good things to say, but I think because I've said it before on STARCARD podcast, the Lover's card tells me, especially if it's at the beginning or the end of a message, that the spirit world is with you right now and giving you a hug, and it's working with you together. So let's read about the Lover's card for you. That's a nice finale. The Lovers. On a personal level, this card means developing your own system of beliefs. How about that? That's new to me. It also represents making a choice between two opposing factions. I guess every book says something different. Let's talk about the relationships. The Lovers point to a strong and mutual relationship, as the Lovers are not clothed. Be honest and bear your emotions. Hey, I hope that was helpful and interesting. It was fun and fascinating for me. Thank you, Mr. A. Good luck. Please come back again and ask for another reading. I'm going to hold on to your tree just in case. All right. Let me give these a toss and go for the next tree. Hey, everybody. You're doing me a favor. I just want to say that. But yeah, I don't want to go to recess. I want to keep throwing cards. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, yeah, Christy Campbell. Did Christy ask for a particular deck? I don't know. Should I give her something special? Yeah, all right. Hey, Mr. A, you're so welcome. Thank you very much. All right. Hey, Christy Campbell, these are some of my favorite cards to shuffle. These are the Lost Soul Tarot. I know you appreciate dramatic art, so I'm going to throw some from the Lost Soul Tarot for you. Yay, Christy. All right. We have a celebrity in the house. I thought I was a celebrity. All right, here we go. These cards are for Christy. The last time I had like three cards for you on Typical Skeptic podcast, and one of them was like the Page of Swords, and then there was another card where everyone was celebrating. What was that, like the Four of Wands or something, or the Three of Cups? Celebrating, because you're doing a great job, Christy, following your mission. Anyway, let's let the tarot cards do the talking. These cards are for Christy Campbell. CC33. Christy's got a lot of books out, everybody. You should check out her channel and check out her books. She's got great artwork. Fascinating artwork. I really like the stories about George H.W. Bush. I'm not saying that they're nice stories. I'm just saying I love listening to them. These cards are for Christy. These cards are for Christy. All right. All right, Christy Campbell. So this one came out right away. It's the Five of Swords. It talks about respecting other people's opinions, even if they are different than ours, because we expect our boundaries to be appreciated. Anyway, I could go into that a little bit longer, but we got a lot of cards for you here, so let's check out what we got going. What I would say basically is that that's not an issue for you. In fact, it's one of your strengths, Christy Campbell, as far as I can tell. when people have different opinions, you give them the time to advance what they have to say. You're not interested in being more correct than anyone else. You respect everyone from where they come from. So, and then we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is the reevaluation card. And I'm going to read about the Four of Cups for you. Well, if you're encountering a lot of different opinions or even presenting, let's do it both ways, shall we? If you're encountering a lot of different opinions, it makes people want to reevaluate how they're looking at things. And certainly when you reevaluated all the different memories that you had to reevaluate what your situation was, I suppose. But anyway, we're going to take a look at the Four of Cups for you. Life may be feeling monotonous. Perhaps a past disappointment is making new opportunities seem dull. The universe is offering solutions, but it is up to you to rediscover your passion. And then regarding a career, it says work may feel like a chore. See what changes you can make, such as asking for a promotion or changing jobs. I'm sure it just means that Chrissy's going to find a new way to express herself. Okay, and then we follow that with the Seven of Swords. Something is hidden. Maybe whatever you're about to express is not revealed to you yet. Or it could be it's not revealed to the rest of the world, and you're about to reveal it to everyone. Then there's the Eight of Wands, and that says that's going to happen really soon. I don't want to jinx anything, but, I don't know, get ready to have a strange dream with a new and interesting perspective on things. Wow, then the Nine of Wands, that's the one who's been through the ringer. Let's read about the Nine of Wands for you. The Nine of Wands, you may be feeling exhausted from all the challenges you faced, but trust that you're almost there. Keep your grit as you push towards the finish line. Regarding career, it says, the problems or long-term project you've been dealing with at work are close to an end. You may feel burnt out, but don't give up. What's also nice, Christy, is, I know you know this, once the book is published, it's published. Now you could just rest on your laurels and work on a new project. Yeah, very good, Christy. I see your message in the chat there. So here comes the Knight of Pentacles, again, talking about hard work and being committed. Again, sounds like your work habits. And then when you do all those things, you end up as the Page of Wands. Let's read to you about the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands, the page signals a person who sees the potential in opportunities. She has the long-term vision, but may not have acted yet. Maybe all she needs is a plan. I'm sure she's going to come up with it next morning. Hey, Christy Campbell, it's a special treat to have you. Thanks very much for inviting me to read. Have a great one. Oh, wow. That's going to be a long book, Christy Campbell. Cool. All right. I appreciate you inviting me to read. I love the practice. Okay. Let's see who else is on my tree pile. Spiderbite, it's your turn. Here we go. I don't know which deck Spiderbite asked for. Did I toss these yet? So I'm going to go back to the Ethereal Bloom deck. So Andrea 54 Hector, hi, I haven't seen you in a long time. And am I to assume that you'd like a reading? We can arrange that. Let me take care of Spiderbite, and then I'll make you a tree. I'm sorry if I missed your request earlier, but no problem. We'll take care of it. These cards are for Spiderbite. All right. Again, down under on another continent. What a unique experience this is. Here we go. How about some fun, inspirational cards for Spiderbite, please? Thank you. These cards are for Spiderbite. Fun, inspirational message for Spiderbite, please. right, cool. Hey, Spider Bite. I'm always excited when I see this card. It's the Justice card. Again, flowers everywhere. So wonderful. It looks like a summer night. You're watching a play outside and it's just getting dark and there's fireflies around. But the Justice card, there's cause and effect, and something good is about to happen. Maybe something's coming your way. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up because I'm always looking for it. But, maybe there's some kind of balance and something's due. Something's coming your way. Oh, great. I love it when the High Priestess keeps coming out. Why don't we read about the High Priestess? Because that definitely puts a different spin on things. We got some High Priestesses tuning in right now. The High Priestess. The High Priestess sits in the Temple of Solomon between the pillars Boaz, capital B-O-A-Z, which means strength, and Jachin, Jachin, meaning establishment. Her devotion to spiritual practices lets her connect to the divine realm. Lets her connect the divine realm to the physical world. So, we would love it if everybody did what they were supposed to do in society and the justice system actually worked the way it's supposed to, the way they say it's supposed to. But sometimes, if you're tuning in the STARCARD podcast, you're going to have to use a little magic, and that's how you're going to get your justice. And the Sun card says everything's going to be all right. See, it is coming your way. That's good news. All right, then the Eight of Cups says it's time to walk away. Well, nobody likes a spoiled sport or a spoiled victor. You know what? Once the game is over, just walk away. You don't have to encounter that team anymore. You don't have to see those players anymore. The season is over. You won the game. Everything's fine. It was cause and effect, and your magic made it come out nice. So walk away from whatever's not important now. You already won. Not only did you win, but you get to take the trophy. It's the Page of Wands. I'm going to read to you about the Page of Wands. I think we just did the Page of Wands. I'm going to read it again. The Page of Wands. The page signals a person who sees the potential in opportunities. He has the long-term vision, but may not have acted yet. Maybe all he needs is a plan. And then finally, Spider Bite, how about the Queen of Pentacles? Nice. Let's read to you about the Queen of Pentacles. I wish I could read and show the card at the same time. All these cards are adorable. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. I like the one with the kid that looks like he's coming down the stairs for Christmas in his pajamas. I forget which card that is. Let's read you about the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen cradles a pentacle in her hands. Her throne is decorated with angels and beings of the earth. Vines and flowers grow around her, while a rabbit jumps near her feet. The Queen is balanced between business and home. Oh yeah, she's the working parent one, right? She is financially independent while still exuding nurturing energy for her loved ones. This can be you or a person in your life. Well, cool deal, Spider Bite. You'd be a fun person to hang out during the holidays with. Thanks for tuning in to StarCard Podcast. I appreciate it. Here we go. Let's give these a whoops. Talk about throwing tarot cards. Time out, everybody. I dropped one. Yeah. Great. So I have Arizona Raven next. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'm going to go back to the traditional one there. And then I think Andrea 54 Hector. Yeah, I think she wants a reading. That's the impression I'm getting there. So let's make a card for Andrea 54 Hector. Where are all those trees at? I think I saw Missing Time 420 in the chat. Hi, Jason. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. If it's the middle of the night, I'm pretty sure Jason's going to show up. All right, but we're taking care of Arizona Raven. Then we'll go to Andrea 54 Hector. And hey, everybody, you still have a chance to get in your requests. I appreciate it so much. How much fun are we having here? Here you go, Arizona Raven. These cards are for Arizona Raven. Hey, Arizona Raven, thanks again for your donation over at Rob's show the other night. Hey, everybody, if you go to the playlist section at StarCard Podcast, I just put together a new playlist, which includes my appearances on the Typical Skeptic podcast. Not all of them, but I've got the most recent ones. I like to take them all into the editing bay if I can. I need time to do that. But I got Breakaway Ray shares 8 scares, and Breakaway Ray gives thanks, in case you missed it. Those are the edited, cleaned up versions. These cards are for Arizona Raven. A fun, inspirational message for Arizona Raven, please. These cards are for Arizona Raven. How do you like this bocce alley, everybody? A little bit different angle from the camera upstairs. I still like the upstairs one, but this one's coming out nice too. Okay, here we go, Arizona Raven. Ooh, the moon. I bet it feels like the moon card every time you get up in the morning. It's still dark out when you go out and talk to all the animals, right? The moon card, illusion, mystery, dreams, intuition, subconscious, premonitions. Ooh, the 4 of Swords. Did you have some interesting dreams last night? The 4 of Swords talks about meditation and sleep and rejuvenation and healing. Ooh, and the 9 of Wands says courage, persistence, test of faith, resilience, boundaries, last stand, and gearing up for the worst. It even says pessimism and weary. I guess when we wake up early and it's still dark out, Arizona Raven, we still feel a little bit draggled like the 9 of Wands guy. That doesn't mean we can't get the job done. You know, once we just get going, once we get our blood flowing, everything falls into place and we fall into a routine and we keep it going. Yeah, there you go. So there's your 6 of Cups. It's your happy memories. The sun is shining now and things are already underway and you're helping everybody out. The 6 of Cups talks about familiarity, happy memories, reminiscing, childhood memories, innocence, and joy. And then, all right, there's the 4 of Wands. Maybe that's the end of the day. You get to come home. It's the homecoming card. Okay, so after a long day, celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, home, community, and homecoming. All your happy memories are at the home, aren't they? I mean, I don't know a lot about ranch life, but I think that ranch life is when you're dedicated to, you're not away from the ranch a lot. You're not taking a week off each month to go travel or anything. The ranch and someone who works on the ranch, you guys are symbiotically related, I would say. Cool. I mean, those are cool ideas. I hope. Yay. All right. Well, how's this for a nice ending there? There's the World card for you. It's the last card in the Major Arcana. It talks about completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, celebration of life, and arriving. Well, isn't it your destiny, Arizona Raven? All those kinds of things we were talking about. This card tells me that you're right on your soul's path and you're fulfilling God's mission. So I say, congratulations and well done. Thank you very much for inviting me to read. It's an honor. Let me give these cards a toss. And then I'm going to throw some cards for Andrea 54 Hector. All right. I'm going to use these cards again for Andrea 54 Hector. Hold on to your tree there, Arizona Raven. And these are for Andrea 54 Hector. How about a fun inspirational message for Andrea 54 Hector? These cards are for Andrea 54 Hector. All right, Andrea 54 Hector, I got some cards here for you. Let's see what happens. We have the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords together. One guy is poised like he's ready to, bat at the plate. And the other guy's already running to first base. It looks like a little hit and run activity here. Someone's going to get something going, and then you're going to go for it, and you're going to charge. Thank you, Arizona Raven. I appreciate that. Let's read about the Knight of Wands for Andrea 54 Hector. The Knight of Wands, ambitious, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast thinking and defending beliefs. And the Page of Swords talks about new ideas, curiosity, thirst for knowledge, new ways of communicating, and mental energy. I don't know, maybe I'm projecting my own thoughts on this, but when your monkey mind just will not be quiet, gets to be a nuisance. So I don't know, you got some ideas and maybe you're pursuing them assiduously in your mind. You may not even be talking about it with other people, but it's always going on in the back of your mind. I'm always thinking about this. Again, maybe I'm just projecting what's going on over here in my studio. Well, the Seven of Swords says that something is hidden or something is going to be revealed. Well, it also says, by the way, the Seven of Swords, betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically, and trickery. Oh, okay. Oh, and then the Eight of Pentacles talks about diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill development, and repetitive tasks. So if I was a parent, I might feel very strongly about my ideas about where my child should go to college, for example, but I might have to use some strategery, some not to trick them, but to present ideas in such a way, and I might have to work at it very hard so that eventually they see my point of view and they apply to the right colleges, or like in my case, 40 years ago, apply to colleges. Okay, if that's the goal. While they're still a minor, you have the right to do that. Okay, as people in my family used to say, I brought you into the world, and then you can finish the sentence for yourself. I have no idea if this has anything to do with parenthood, and certainly I'm the last person to talk about parenthood. I am not a parent, Andrea 54 Hector, but maybe this dynamic rings a bell. I hope it's entertaining. Then look what happens. It's the World card, and whatever happens, the World card says it's going to be accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment. It even talks about travel and celebration of life and arriving. So, this could be also travel for the holidays. You have a great idea to go back east to see the family. You had no idea how congested the traffic was going to be. But you know what? You stuck to it. It was a long trip, and yay, now you're in a position where you can celebrate the holidays. Hey, I hope that was a fun reading, Andrea 54 Hector. Okay. I'm not seeing anyone else request a reading, so I'm going to turn the computer around. It was a long show today. Hey, it was a long show today, and it was a fun and exciting show. It's fun and exciting every time. I want to thank the Tarot World for helping me throw some fun cards and help people out in the audience. I hope everyone has a good day. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Keep up the good work, everybody. All right. Like, share, and subscribe. See you around. Woo! Yeah.